I don't know where I got this book tag from, but I searched the other night on Google for different book tags and this one came up. So this is called the A to Z book tag, and it's A to Z of different things related to books. So A is author you've read the most books from. That is so hard. Let me try and think of the biggest series that I've read. So Harry Potter was 7 books. Night School was 5 books. Percy Jackson is 5. And the other one is, I don't know. Oh, that sounded really posh then, I don't know. CJ Daughtry, because I've read The Night School, that's 5 books, and then I recently read her Secret City and Secret Fire, so that makes 7. I know that's probably the same as J.K. Rowling, but I haven't read any of her other books. I haven't read The Cursed Child, which I need to. So I will say CJ Daughtry with 7 books. Okay, B. Best sequel ever. Ooh, best sequel ever. Sequel ever. I would have to say Stars Above by Melissa Mayer, because I liked that the book series finished, but she still wrote another one, so you get to have a little bit more of information from the other characters and their stories, and then, you know, I don't want to spoil it in case you haven't read it, but you know, the happiness that the book's created into another book. So that would probably be my best sequel ever. I really, really liked that one because it was part of the series, but it was a bit different. It wasn't exactly the same follow-up with the stories. It wasn't like a new fairy tale character. It wasn't a new book in the series, but it was a really good book. I really liked that one. Okay, C. Currently reading. Well, I am currently reading The Red Queen by Christina Henry. I don't know whether this is going to be uploaded before I do the review or not. Most likely it will be uploaded before I finish the book and before it goes on to my YouTube channel, but yeah, that is the book I'm reading now, The Red Queen. D. Drink choice whilst reading. I don't need to spend a long time deciding that because it obviously is a cup of tea, and I like mine really strong, so it's brown and you can actually see that there is not a lot of milk in there and it's nice and strong. And if I had to go into specifics, it would have to be The Afternoon Tea by Twinings for my reading of a book, because it's quite nice to feel cosy in an afternoon reading, even though I read in the morning and at night time as well, but that's my favourite tea and that is my favourite drink while I read my book. E. E-reader or physical book. Obviously a physical book, because I love turning the pages, I love the smell of the book, I love folding the pages, and I just love sitting there turning the pages. But an e-reader is probably better when you're on a plane, because it's just one thing that you take with you. It's got all your books on there, you can read them again and again and again, and I do prefer an e-reader like that, because say I'm reading a book, like a series, and I've taken that book out and I'm like, oh no, what happened in the last series? I can't remember. I can just go back on my e-reader and flick it along and find out what I want to know. Whereas if you've taken the book, you know, just that one book and you're on the bus, or you're on holiday and you left the other one at home because you didn't need it because you finished it, there's no way for you to go back, you have to search for it. So an e-reader is probably better like that, but you can't beat a physical book. It's so much better to actually have a book in your hand, and I wish that my e-reader was like a book and I could turn the pages and then just change it to the next book, because then I would pick an e-reader over a physical book. F. Fictional character you would actually date in high school. Okay, I don't know. There's a lot of characters that I have read about. I don't know, it's hard. Give me a second to think, because there are lots of books. Hatch from Hush Hush, because it's based in a school environment as well, so it's a bit easier to decide. He is there for Nora the whole time, even in the background, and she doesn't know it. And it started off being a bit like, I mean, if you haven't watched this, then you won't know what I'm talking about, and I don't want to spoil it, but it started off with him having to actually kill her, basically, because of the fact that she came from his vessel, and if he destroyed her, then the vessel would die, and then he would be able to feel again because he was a fallen angel. Oh, my nose is sorry. So yeah, it would have to be Patch, because he was there for Nora the whole time. He was a little bit of a bad boy, but he was just because he didn't really want to get to know anyone but Nora, and he was a little bit out in the shadows and stuff secretly. Not a lot of people knew about him, and he was really decent. He was a lovely character, and I loved reading the Hush Hush series by Becca Fitzpatrick. So read it if you haven't read it. G. Glad you gave this book a chance. I don't normally read books which aren't about fantasy or YA books, but I got a book called Black-Eyed Susans for my birthday. I think it was last year, and I really liked that book. It was not what I thought it would be about. It was very different to what I normally read, but you know, it was a birthday present, so I gave it a go, and I really liked it. It was about this girl who was taken away when she was a teenager, and there was these other girls that, you know, were kidnapped as well, and she woke up in a field of black-eyed Susans, which is a yellow flower with a black eye, and she woke up and all the girls were dead around her, but she was still alive, and somehow she managed to escape. And flash forward, I think it was like 20 years later, whatever, she's got a daughter of her own now, and she tried to forget about everything that happened in her past, but things keep popping up. Like one day she goes outside and there's black-eyed Susans by her windowsill. She starts to fear her daughter, you know, that it might happen to her daughter. She eventually uncovers who the person was that kidnapped her and the story around that. And it was really good, and I really am glad I gave it a chance. A hidden gem book. Hidden gem book would have to be Outcast by Adrian Cress. It's such a lovely sort of sweet book. There's this place and this town, and I think it's once a year or however long, an angel comes down and takes somebody, and you know, this has been happening for a long time. So this girl one day walks outside and sees this angel thing, and she shoots it, and it turns into be a boy. And this boy was taken many moons ago, and he was taken into this angel thing, and he forgot his whole memory. But he was in like the 50s, so he's got bright blue Cadillacs, and you know, this girl is in, you know, now, and they create like this love, but they're still trying to solve what this angel thing is, because he doesn't remember, but he doesn't understand why he's here. And people that he grew up with are like the grandparents, and you know, and our grandparents now, and our parents of her. Like her parents would have been younger than him, you know, they wouldn't have been born when he was around, but it's just such a weird thing. And there's this lovely poem in it, and this lovely poem song, and it's such a sweet, sad book, and it's probably one of my favourite books, because it's not a series, it's not a prequel, it's nothing like that, it's just a single book. And I hate single books because I want them to carry on, but sometimes single books are actually better than a series, because it fits everything in one book, and you've read it, and it's done, and it's there, and you can hold it, and sometimes it's better than a series. Obviously series is better because you get to carry on the story and the the fantasy world and whatever, but this is probably one of my all-time favourite books. Okay, important moment in your reading life. I don't know my most important moment. If I had to pick, it would probably be in June, when I decided to create this YouTube channel. I've been getting my subscription box. I fell in love with it, and the first book I read was Travelling in Time by Andrew Stanton, and I really liked that book, and I started to love books all over again. Like, I never stopped, but you get busy at work and stuff, and you know, you read a really good book and you can't read another book because that book is so good. And obviously as the months went on, and it only, you know, happened in June, when I thought, you know what, I'm going to make myself a YouTube channel. And there isn't a specific book that I read that made me change my mind, that made me want to create a YouTube channel. I just started to think, I love books so much, and how many times do you tell someone about a book that you love and they just sit there like, yeah, okay, because they don't read, or they don't like books, or the book doesn't sound like something they want. So I thought, I'll create a YouTube channel and I can tell you guys about these books. I can do book tags, I can do book reviews, I can do other stuff which I haven't decided. If you have any ideas, please let me know, because I really want to do more stuff. You know, and I'll do loads of different things. I'll do book to movie reviews and things like this. I want to share my opinion and reviews in a nice way, so that I don't give you everything at once, tell you where there's spoilers. And I want to do that, and because I love books, and if you love something, you should, you know, show people you love it. So my important moment in my reading life was when I decided to make a YouTube channel. There isn't a specific book that changed my mind. It was just me deciding that I wanted to have more of a book life and show that I love books, more and more by doing a YouTube channel. And that is what my moment that made me, moment in my reading life, and that was what it was. J. Just finished. So I have just finished the book Alice by Christina, which I have done a review about. It's the same situation as The Red Queen, where I think this will be up before that book comes out on the review. So by the time this review actually comes up, I would have had another book which I would have read. So yeah, this is kind of an annoying question to ask, the same with the other one, because I'm obviously showing this before I've actually finished the book that I would be reading when this comes out, if that makes sense. I need like a time machine. K. Kinds of books you won't read. I won't read anything erotic and all that. I won't read anything like 50 Shades